Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing this fine morning? I hope everyone is doing well. Let me know how the weather is where you are. We have finally finished our weather for the time being, and we got 12 inches. 12 whole entire inches. Yeah, I was not ready. So I have been off from work at home, relaxing, loving every minute of it, except for my son's been sick. So that has not been a good time. Like, he just started throwing up. Like, yeet. So yeah, luckily my daughter hasn't gotten it yet, but he has not. He's been sleeping a lot and throwing up. There's been a huge stomach bug that's been going around at school, and I guess it was his turn. So in today's video, so last video that I had uploaded, I will link that video down below. I had talked about my favorites from January. I tested a lot of makeup, and so usually I do favorites and fails together, but I just had so many favorites and so many fails. I was like, let's separate them because that's a lot. That's a lot to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the fails for this month. So if this is your first time here, then hi, my name is Carrington. Not your first time here, then hi, welcome back. If you enjoy videos like this, all things makeup, we talk about books every month. We talk about different things that I buy, like tumblers, lounge fly bags, all those good things. If you enjoy all of that, then definitely go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell to be notified of all my future uploads. Let's go ahead and let's get into my fails. Okay, so I've got a couple different categories. So let's first start off with like makeup tools. So first things first, I had tried the Beauty Bakery Blending Eggs. I've heard a lot of people say they loved these, and I purchased, you get like 6 of them in like a little egg carton. It's super cute. You get a pink one and you get like a blue one. Okay, I am here to tell you, I am not a fan of these. If you watched my favorites one, you would know I am very, very picky about my sponges. These just feel real, like hard compared to what I like. So what I like is like how, like, I mean, literally just like, like, see how squishy that is? And then this one, like, it's just not as, to get the same level of, that I'm just like this. I have to go, I just don't like that. I'm personally not the biggest fan. I have my top 3 sponges, which are this from e.l.f., Lunar Beauty, the pink sponge from Lunar Beauty, and the Hip Dot Rugrats one. Those are my top sponges. Those are the ones that I love. I just don't love these. I think like if you love like Real Technique sponges, or you do like ones that are a little bit more harder, you will like these. I'm just so picky about mine. I don't really care for these. The next sponge, which follows kind of the same suit, is from Alien Cosmetics. Again, I don't think that this is necessarily a bad, like, these ones are a lot softer than the Beauty Bakery ones, but again, it's just not love. It's not where love is. So I did purchase another sponge that's like this. It's actually up in my giveaway pile. I'm going to be having a giveaway coming up shortly. I have one that's getting ready to end. And then shortly after that, I will be doing another giveaway. So you guys will be seeing a sponge. I think it's a different color than this one. I can't remember if it's the same color or not. But I used a white and green one in a video. Realized I hated it. Had this one plus the one I was giving away in the giveaway. So yeah, I'm just not a fan of these. Next 2 things to talk about are from fragrance. So the first one is this right here. This is the Tom Ford Black Orchid. This smells very, very like woodsy, musky. I am not a fan of it. It's not a scent that I'm really into. How do I take this off? How do I open this? It's just so strong. Like this, I'm literally like, I'm pretty sure this is something that my husband would wear. Not something that I would wear. Not a huge fan of this. It's just too strong for me. The next one is one that I wanted to love. This is from Kayali. This is a sister brand of Huda. And they do fragrances. And this is the Utopia Vanilla Coconut. This has pear, jasmine, coconut, sandalwood, and vanilla bourbon. I don't get a lot of like the vanilla or the coconut really. I do get a lot of like the sandalwood, definitely the jasmine. It's just not a scent that I'm particularly into. I like very sweet type scents. So if this I really had smelled like some cocoa or some of that vanilla, more of that vanilla bourbon, I would have liked this a lot more. This is just way too like woodsy and floral for what I like. I don't think this is like bad, but if you're like me and you like those really sweet scents, you're not gonna like this. So next up is this YSL Social Club Primer. It's really good for like filling in your pores. However, there's a downside. The downside to this is that it is very glittery. When I reviewed this product, I mean, you could see the glitter in my hands in the product. When you put it on my face, you could see the glitter particles. I was just like, I think this would be really, really great. Like, this would be a fantastic product if it didn't have the glitter. But it has the glitter, and now I'm like, this is terrible. I don't want to look like a disco ball. I don't want my pores to look like an 80s disco ball. Like, I want my pores to be non-existent, and I feel like this could have made it non-existent had the glitter not been there, being like, you know, just like blasting out from everywhere. So I don't care for it for that reason. For that reason alone, would have been so good, minus all that stupid glitter. So moving on to the eyes. So these shadow sticks, I've got one from Bobbi Brown, I've got one from Milani. I don't think these are bad products, especially like the Bobbi Brown is so nice, creamy. It's definitely a lot creamier than like the Milani one. My issue here is that the Milani one just doesn't really blend out that well. First of all, I don't know if you can really tell the difference, like how well this blended out, and this one looks really patchy and crunchy. But here's the reason why I don't like them. One, I don't like this one because it doesn't even blend out that well. And then two, my eyes are just so hooded and cakey that no matter what I do, even if I set, put it on my lid and set it, or don't set it, put a primer, glitter glue, whatever, it still just like crepes and creases and just doesn't look good. So for me, this was kind of a waste of money. But if you do really like to be able to like take one of these and like pop them on the lid, I think the Bobbi Brown one is fantastic. It's just, again, it just doesn't last well for me just because of how hooded my eyes are. But I would say don't get this. Like, even if you do like shadow sticks, don't get that. It doesn't really like blend out well. It's not that great. It's not creamy, not super creamy. This one is. This one's really, really good. So then we have these little like Milani type like palettes. So inside you get highlights, you get blushes, you get bronzers, you get eyeshadows, or some for like each side. Okay. I hate these. First of all, I feel like it's a love-hate relationship. I don't think the shadows are really good at all. Like the shadows are terrible quality. I do like the highlighters. I think the highlighters are probably like the hidden gem of this whole thing. And the blushes and bronze aren't bad, except for the fallout is a turn. But it also takes a little bit just to even build this up. This is 3 layers of the bronzer with a brush. And so we're gonna go in a 4th time. And let's try building this up again. Like, here it is after the 4th time. It just isn't like as pigmented. So I would say if you're somebody where you don't like a lot of pigmentation and you like the being able to build up, I think you would like those, especially if you don't mind the fallout. Personally, the fallout is a lot, and just like the pigmentation just like really isn't there. The highlighters is a hidden gem, but I can't like just be like, oh well, since one product out of all the products in here, one product of all the products in here is decent, that I should call it a favorite. I just don't. Last up for the eyes is the Give Me the Glow Over the Top Vault. So basically you have all of these like different loose shadows, and you have a mixing medium. And so what you can do is you can use the loose shadows on their own. You can put on top of glitter glue, or you can use it in the mixing medium to get a high intensity payoff. I have tried playing with multiples of these, with the mixing medium, without. I just personally prefer pressed powders, pressed pigments more than I do the loose. I just find that they just don't work that well for me. And then with the mixing medium, I just felt like I could never get the right like consistency. It was either too much or too little, and there was no like perfectness in here. And then whenever I did feel like I got like a really nice like intensity, it just didn't last very long. Like it just creased and worn off really quickly. I'm talking by the time I finished the rest of my makeup, my eyes were already creasing and fading and falling away. And I just don't care for that. Like I just would rather have like a powder, like a pressed pigment like I have on my eyes now. That's what I would prefer. So I feel like I do have quite a few of these in pressed shadows. Like here's the shade Glamorous. I know I have that in a pressed shadow. The only one I don't think is maybe Space Princess and Dragon's Blood and Ring of Fire. I think might be the only ones that I don't really have. There might be other ones. I don't know. I know Dragon's Blood they're getting ready to come out with in a single. But this just was like, this was $100, and for it to really just not work very well for me, I feel like I wasted my money. Maybe if I'd spent like a little bit less, I would have thought it would have been more worth it. But again, I don't like the way it looks without the mixing medium, and when I do have the mixing medium, I feel like it just wears off my eyes so quickly. I just didn't care for that. Let's move on to Complexion. So first things first is this Flower Beauty Get Real Serum Foundation. Okay, first of all, I don't know if you guys can tell. Do you see this? How like liquidy it is? Like it's just like so liquidy. When I've used this, and I have tried using this with 1,000 different products, because I thought originally that it looked really bad, that it was because maybe it was like all the different products that I was using. So I tried using this with like my Ride or Die primers, Ride or Die powders, like everything else, and it just does not look good. It just settles into my my skin, and well, it doesn't really like settle into it. It kind of just stays like on top of the skin, like it doesn't like sink in. And like here, like I'm sitting here trying to like blend this out. Do you just see how just like watery it is? And it just sets on top of the skin, fades into like the lines. And again, it's not sinking into the skin. Like I can keep going like this all day. It just doesn't do anything. So for me, like this is just not a good product, and I wanted to love it because my skin is so dry that I wanted this to be like an amazing product, especially like a drugstore find for those of us with dry skin. But I'm here to tell you, it is not. It is not a find. Just steer clear. Steer clear. This is not a good product. All right, the next two are from the exact same company. So the first one is going to be the Jaclyn Cosmetic Skin Perfecting thing. Skin Perfecting Blur Tint. So I was going into this knowing that this was not going to have a lot of pigment to it. Like it was there to just kind of perfect everything. I did a wear test with this, and it just looked like my skin was so scaly. So I had tried this product numerous other times. The first time I did it, I used my fingers. Which was in that video. So then I was like, maybe that's just not the way to use it. So I tried a brush. Still same thing. Tried a sponge. Still same thing. So I had a bunch of brush, sponge, and finger all in one. Still the same thing. So then I was like, maybe this just isn't going to be a really good option for me as like a skin tint where I can just throw this on and go about my day. I was like, fine. So let me just like put this on and then put like a tried and true foundation. Let me prime with some other stuff and let me put this on. Nope, that didn't work. Okay, well, let me prime. Let me just use this for the primer and go over with one of my tried and true foundations. Nope, still didn't work. It just looks scaly, really dry, really crepey on my skin. This was just like a huge no for me. I feel like there was just something off about this. Just the way it made my skin look, feel, it looked awful. Every time that I wore this, no matter what I did, no matter what I tried, it just didn't look good. So this was a fail for me. Also from Jaclyn is the concealer. So I originally was like, oh yeah, this actually isn't that bad. You do have to work quickly because it dries down. However, what I noticed as I kept trying this out was like it just really dried out my under eyes. And again, I have dry skin. My under eyes are no exception to that. And I just felt that like even if I was working in like little tiny sections and blending it out, I just felt like it was still just a little bit too heavy on my under eyes. It was a little bit too drying for my under eyes. I don't know if you have like, oily skin, if this would be better. I don't know. But for me with dry skin and dry under eyes, it was just really crepey. And the fact that you have to work extremely fast, I don't know, I just didn't, you know, overly care for this concealer. The more that I tried it, the more that I hated it. And so just, yeah, I feel like this launch from Jaclyn was kind of like a fail. Yeah, it was. This was not a good launch from Jaclyn. So hopefully she continues to come out with other things, continues to improve her formulas, maybe, you know, come out with something a little bit better. But that one just kind of missed the mark. All right, 2 more categories to talk about. The next one is going to be a highlight category. There's 2 of them in here. They're both from the exact same collection. This is from the Pat McGrath Bridgerton collection. Here's the thing. These are $60 highlighters. Let's just talk about that for a minute. These are $60 highlighters. And I would say like her one from like her Divine Rose collection. That's good. The one from the past holiday 2021 collection. That's good too. This I really thought was going to be, first of all, a like white or silver kind of a whatever. But it definitely has a lot of gold to it. Now, the other thing I don't like about this one specifically is just look how glittery that is. It's very glittery. And here's the thing. Usually I'm not super opposed to really glittery highlighters. Like the one that I really like from ColourPop is a Super Shock, and that has glitter in it. Like, I don't hate that. What I do hate about this, though, is that I do find that it starts to fall down my face after wearing it for a few hours. And for a $60 highlighter, I am not expecting this to fall all over my face. The other part that was really disappointing is you have like an extreme gold highlighter. So I was like, oh, I know it's not going to work for me. But via the film or whatever it is she used to, you know, whenever she took her product shots, this looked like it was going to be like an icy white or a silver. This is definitely very much gold, and I have to be super careful with that because then it can be a little bit deep. So for $60, I was just slightly disappointed in this. I just don't feel like this was worth $60, especially for the amount of glitter that this has. It's just like a walking glitter shell. And I was disappointed that we already have one deep. I just really wish we would have had like a nice icy white or an icy silver or nice icy champagne, not more gold. Last category to talk about is lips. So first things first is going to be this ABH lip liner. This is one of the new ones that just came out. So here's the thing. First of all, this is like $18. So that's kind of expensive for a lip liner. But the next part that I hate is that, one, it's wooden and it's not even like creamy. It's not like comfortable and creamy. So that's one downside automatically, is that it's wooden, it's creamy, and then it just doesn't, like, just, you know, wiping like this, it just kind of goes away. It just doesn't really have a lot of staying power. So I want to spend $18 on this lip liner? No, and I'm not going to purchase another one. I prefer like the Charlotte Tilbury, the Pat McGrath, ColourPop, things like that. Those are really, really creamy, and they have really good staying power. So, you know, this just probably wasn't worth the $18 to me. I just wish they were just a little bit more creamy, a little bit more rich, and had a little bit more staying power. The next thing is this Makeup Forever metallic. Okay. It's just very, very metallic, and it's got like the metallic in it. I did not realize that whenever I purchased these. I should have read the description better. I am not a metallic fan. I think the color turned out pretty. It turned out fine. I am just not a fan of metallics on my lips. Like glosses, liquid lipsticks, or regular lipsticks, whatever. But metallics, I just cannot do. I don't put glitter on my lips, nothing like that. So for me, that's just a no. I'm just not a metallic person. If you are, you might like it, but I am not, so that's a fail for me. Last up are these Hip Dot Rugrats lip glosses. First of all, I hate these. Inside the clear part, you have like tons of like large particle glitters and stars and all that other stuff, and you know, it stays on your lips. And then you've got like the blue and the gold, and that is just, it's just not cute. It is not cute, and it's glittery as well. Like, no. Who was this made for? Who was this whole entire collection made for? Because if we're trying to appeal to like 90s kids, right, who are in like their 20s and 30s right now, why are we doing this? Why? This is not, no, this is a no. And that is it for the fails for this month. I had quite a few fails. Let me know some things that you absolutely hated this month. Have you tried any of those things in my fail and also agreed that they were fails? Let me know all that down below. If you enjoyed this video, enjoyed this type of content, then definitely give this video a thumbs up. That helps me out. That lets me know you enjoy this type of content. This lets YouTube know you enjoy this type of content, so they can recommend similar videos either from me or from other creators. If you want to keep continuing coming to this dumpster fire, then definitely go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell to be notified of all my future uploads, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!